Now, I had filmed this video already, actually a couple of times, but I had filmed the final version last night and I can't find it. I have no idea where I saved it on my computer, so I have to do this again. So basically, there's 4 box sizes that you would want to create to cover various areas in your Erin Condren planner. This isn't going to be a short video. It's going to be at least 20 minutes. So if you want to grab a coffee, you know, go ahead. Feel free to fast forward to certain parts if you think you need to. That's fine. I will in the future be doing a separate video on how I make my own custom stickers, which is a totally different thing. But right now, today, we're just going to concentrate on labels. So the different box sizes that you may want to cover in your Erin Condren planner, I have labeled them all here. The first one is what I'm calling the monthly box label, and that's going to be to cover this area of your planner. This is the month on 2 pages. So if you wanted to cover one of these squares with a pattern label or even just a colored label, for some reason, let's say you made a mistake and you wanted to cover this area and then rewrite over the label. Or some people just cover various boxes just for decoration purposes. So if you wanted to make one of those labels, the label size is 1.4 inches high by 1.605 inches wide. I will be putting all the measurements for all the boxes in the description bar below. I'm only going to be showing you today how to make 2 of these labels because really once you have the measurements and the basic instructions, then you can make any size labels you want. So there's no need for me to show you all 5 of them. The next label is the weekly box label. Now this label has 2 sizes, as you can see. One is slightly, I'm calling the weekly box label small and weekly box label large. And the reason for this is, if I can just pull up the picture, I will show you. The week on 2 pages is divided by morning, day, and night. And as you can see, each box has this little title at the top. If you want to create a label that just covers the white area of the box, then that box is going to be 1.880 inches high by 1.5 inches wide. If you want to make a label that covers the entire thing, including the time of day label at the top, then that box is going to be 2.145 inches high by 1.5 inches wide. And that's just a personal preference, whatever size you want to make your label. Again, these measurements will all be in the description box below. The next box is what I'm calling the time of day label, and I sort of alluded to this briefly in my previous video. This is the label that will cover this area right here, this time of day. And here's an example of a label that I made. Not everybody divides their day into morning, day, and night. And so some people don't like these titles and they want to cover them. And if that's the case, then you can make these labels and just put them over top. You can make them with patterns on them to decorate the page, or you can make them blank so that you can write in your own schedule, like home, work, whatever. That's completely up to you, and I will show you how to do both of those. The last label is what I'm calling the birthday anniversary label, and this one is to cover the birthday anniversary section. Originally what I was going to do with mine is I was going to just retitle the top here, and I was going to print out a label that said YouTube videos, and then I was going to write down the videos that I wanted to film for each month. Well, each month has 31 sections, like it's lined with and numbered up to 31. So I felt like there's no way I'm doing 31 videos in a month. So I kind of thought to myself, you know, it's underutilizing this area if I just strictly devote it all to YouTube. So I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this area just with a blank label, just so you can't even see it. And I'm going to make labels that cover each individual month. And I'm going to turn each month into a separate category. So for example, May, I'm going to title YouTube videos. And then I can put down YouTube video labels March 14th, etc. I'm going to label one gifts. And I'm going to write down people's names and gifts that I think that they would like, you know, when the occasion comes to buy them one. I'm going to write down weight tracker so I can track my weight loss per month or whatever. I'm going to write down, what else am I going to write down? Oh, birthdays. I'm going to dedicate one of them to actual birthdays because I don't know that many people who I send presents to on their birthday. So I'm pretty sure I can fit it within 31 people. So yeah, different categories like that. So that's what this label here is going to be for. And the size of this label is 0.905 by 3.150. Now I have already pre-tested these sizes. I've printed them out, I've tested them, and they all fit appropriately into the boxes. So the two labels that I'm going to show you how to make today are going to be the birthday anniversary label and the time of day label. Everything that I'm going to show you can apply to making these labels here. So if you want to make these ones, again, measurements below. If you don't have a silhouette cameo, you can still make these labels using the measurements that I gave you and pretty much using the instructions I'm going to give you, with the exception of doing it in your paint program instead of doing it in Silhouette Studio. And if you don't have Adobe Photoshop or Paint Shop Pro or anything like that, you can download GIMP from the internet. It is a totally free paint program, and I will put the link in the description bar below. But it is fully functional, great paint program. Some people even prefer GIMP over, you know, Photoshop, etc. So, and there's lots of great tutorials on YouTube. So if you can make the labels in GIMP and you can print them out and cut them out by hand. Okay, so getting started here, I'm just going to change my mat size by going up into the upper right hand corner, and I'm going to click on my mat, which I was already on, so I don't know. And I'm going to click letter size because that's the size of my label paper. When this video is over, I will cut to my desk and I will show you the printed and cut labels, and I will show you the label paper that I'm using. So going over to the far left hand side here, I want to click on my draw a rectangle box, and I want to hold down my left mouse button and I want to drag out a rectangle in the size that I want it for my label. So I'm going to start with the time of day label, and that's 1.5 inches wide. I mean, you could enter this in manually as well, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so it's 1.5 inches wide by 0.245. Actually, I'll show you how to do it manually right now. If you go up to the top right hand side, this little triangle diamond button up here, and click that with your shape highlighted or clicked on so that it has this box around it, you can just enter in right here 0.245, and it will change that. Oh, you gotta hit apply. That helps. And that will change to your, let me just zoom in here, change your size, your label size the way you want it. Okay, so you have your first label created. Now you could just go over to what I call the caterpillar button, but it's actually called the replicate window, which is this button here in the upper right hand side. And you could go down and click fill page. I find that when I do that, sometimes it turns my label sideways and it spaces them weird. So I just like to do it manually. You can do whatever you want. But I recommend going up to the top and see these three little triangles here, clicking that and clicking show registration marks, because as you can see, it can be very annoying to line up your labels and then have the registration marks. Excuse me. I'm still getting over the flu, I hope. I hope I'm getting over it. Make it smaller by just dragging these little arrow things down as far as you can, and then it'll get them off your... Now, an important thing to know is do not go outside of this red box. I have gone outside of the red box and I have paid a price for it. It will not cut. If you go outside of the red box, it will print it, but it will not cut it. And I originally thought that the red box was just kind of like a warning, like anything inside this red box is for sure safe, but we can't guarantee it will be safe outside. It's not, it won't cut at all. So don't go outside of the red box. Okay, so what am I doing? With your label selected, go back up to your replicate window up here, and I just put duplicate right. And I don't like them touching each other, so I just move it a little bit. And then I drag a box around the two, and then I hit duplicate right again and drag them apart a little bit. And drag a box around all four. I center them and hit duplicate below. Then drag them apart a little bit because I don't like them touching. Then the final move is I'm going to drag a box around them, right click and hit group, and that's going to group them into this group of 8 so that they stay together. Now I'm going to hit duplicate below and drag them apart. I'm going to drag a box around them and I'm going to hit duplicate below and separate them, and one more time drag a box, duplicate below. I don't know if I need that many, but I guess I'll take it. Oh, I forgot to drag them apart. There we go. So now they're nicely spaced in my opinion. Okay, so now we got to add some colors. So I'm going to select the first group of labels and I'm going to come up here to your color area. Now you can click the paint bucket, which will give you a whole array of colors that you can create your labels in different colors just by selecting the different color. Or you can go to the pattern button, which is the polka dot button here, and this will open your pattern palette. Now I'm going to show you how to add patterns to your Silhouette Studio. If you go over to the left hand side and click the book that's over here, and then go up to My Patterns and right click and select New Folder and name your folder whatever you want. I named mine My Patterns 2. And then what you can do is take patterns. You can get patterns from many different places. Of course you can get them from Google, but beware of copyright laws. Don't take people's patterns. Lots of Etsy sellers sell great patterns and clip art that come with a commercial license, or for a small additional fee can come with a commercial license, or you can just buy them for personal use. That's all up to you. For the sake of this tutorial, I randomly grabbed patterns from Google, so do as I say, not as I do, but I just needed patterns really quick to show you guys this tutorial. So with your Silhouette Studio open, and I'm just going to minimize this window a little bit, and your patterns right here, all you have to do is select your pattern and drag it and drop it, just like that, and it will add it down into your patterns. Now I have 2 of these because, like I said, I filmed this video already, so I'm going to remove one, but it'll add your pattern to your, it's that easy. And then your pattern will show up in your little palette area over here. So let's go back to our mat and click on our labels, and let's use this citrus pattern, which I think is super cute. And then we can left click on the next group of labels and select another pattern that we like. Where's my flowers? I have my favorite, there we go, these flowers, I love them. Now down here you see that there's advanced options. You can click that and you can scale your pattern larger if you want it to be bigger or smaller, etc., etc. I wouldn't really mess with all. You can change it facing up and down or back and forth. I don't find too much need to mess with those things very often. And then you just click basic options again to go back. So that's pretty much it for the time of day label. I can't really think of anything else that, I like this one too, that I could tell you about this label. I'm just going to go ahead and fill these all in really quick so that when I am finished, oh, I'm not. Okay, so I think that that's pretty pretty good. I'm going to do a couple colored ones just for giggles. There we go. Okay, so now moving on, we're going to do the birthday anniversary box. So exact same method. You're going to take a click on your thank God for coffee. You're going to click on your rectangle and you're going to drag, left click your mouse and drag your box. Oh look, it's dragging out a pattern because I have it selected. Don't worry about that. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click my paint palette. I'm going to go to no color. There we go. Okay, so you want to make sure your box is the right size, which is 3.150. Oops. I'm too lazy to go over there and click the button. By 0.905. Ta-da! Okay, so there's your box. Now, for this one, you're going to be adding text. Over here is what I created on my first. Actually, let me just copy and paste this one over there because it makes it so much easier for my life. Okay. Now, here's something that I created during the first tutorial. Here's my box that I filled with color. And then selecting any kind of font that you like by going over to the A button on the far left hand side. Here's your fonts over here. You can choose any font that you like, and I always end up going with the same thing. And I'm going to type birthdays. And it's still filling it in with pattern because I have the pattern selected, but I'm going to go up here to my paint bucket and select white because white just shows up better on color. Now, as you can see, that's clearly too big, so I'm going to click it again and I'm going to select the corner and I'm just going to drag it so that I think it might be a good size, and I'm going to double check. Don't let go of it when you're over there because it can be hard to reselect it sometimes. So I like that. Now I like to put a little decoration over here, and you can do that by selecting your text, clicking on your mat, and I use dingbats. You can use whatever you want, but dingbats are the easiest, and you can find dingbats for free. It's a font, basically. It's just instead of letters, it's pictures, and you can find them for free on the internet just by searching dingbats in Google. The problem with dingbats is they are not very well organized. I can never find, if I need a present and I have 50 different dingbat sets, Lord help me if I know which one, you know, has the letter R is a present. I don't know. So I spend hours looking for these ridiculous things for no reason whatsoever. But let's just pretend that I found one, okay? Let's do, now as you can see over here, I created, I used a pencil dingbat, I used a rainbow for a to-do list, and I used these little hearts, which are separate, and this little envelope, which was a separate dingbat, and I just dragged them. Oh, very important, very, very important. You want to select your font that you have now typed out, and you want to go up top to the little scissors up here, and you want to select no cut. That turns off the cut lines, and you want to do that for any and all dingbats, font, anything, because you only want the machine to cut the outer edge. You don't want it to cut the insides. So once you've done that and you can see, okay, where the red lines are is where it's going to cut, and these have no red lines, so that's good. So when you go back to your mat, there will be red lines outside of these, but as long as there's no red lines on them when you select the scissors, then that's okay. That means they're not going to cut. So don't worry about these regular red lines you see when you go back to the mat. So then you can drag your I'm so sorry about my voice. You can drag your font on top of your label box. Then you can drag your, if you have a dingbat, totally optional, doesn't have to be, but you can if you want. And you can arrange your dingbats however you like them. See what happens once you let go? They're hard to select, and I hate that. It drives me crazy. Okay, so then you want to drag a box around all of it and make sure it's all selected. Right click and select group, and that will put them all together as one, and then as you can see, you can move them around. And then when I click the scissors, you can see only the outside edge of this is going to cut. So it's not going to cut the words and the design inside, which is exactly what you want. You don't want it to cut the inside. Okay, and that's your birthday list. Now you can just continue to do that for all your other labels. You can custom, or you can just leave them blank and you can write in them by hand and draw your own little pictures. It really doesn't matter. I hope that this tutorial was of some use. I hope I didn't leave anything out. I know that I talked forever yesterday, and I can't find that video. So hopefully I covered everything. If I didn't, please feel free to ask me below, and I will be happy to answer, and I will even do another video if I have to. In the future, I will do a sticker video showing how I create my own stickers with the Silhouette Cameo. Yeah. Okay, so we're back here at my table, my desk, and these are the labels that I printed off. As you can see, there's one missing here because I did film this part of the video too already. I swear, I can't just do one take. There's always got to be something always happens. So, yeah, so I'm just going to show you these birthday anniversary stickers and how they fit in here. So as you can see here, these were my first copy. You can see that they're a little bit shy, just a little short to cover that area of the column there. But I wasn't too worried about it. I mean, this is my planner. Nobody's really going to see it but me and, well, all you guys. But so I used them anyway because I didn't want to waste them. And I can put some skinny washi down there, or, you know, even I thought maybe I might take stickles and do a little glittery frame. I don't know, but I'm not that worried about it. I can doodle around the box or whatever. However, the new ones do fit quite nicely, and I'll show you the new one. Here's the new one, and there's no overhang here on the edge, and that's from this here. If you put a label down and you decide later on that, okay, you know what, I don't want to use this for that, you can always just peel another one off, like a blank one or whatever, and put it over top. Nobody's going to know. So that's it for these columns. I haven't decided yet what I want to do with my remaining columns, but I'll figure that out later. When I ordered my agenda planner, journal, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. When I ordered my planner, I was given the option whether I wanted to start it in February or March. Even though I knew I wasn't going to actually get the planner until March, I still started mine in February just so I could have the extra real estate, the few extra pages. I printed these off on my printer, and I just used the snail tape runner and put a little bit of tape on the back and stuck them in there. Oops, sorry. Bang the camera. I can peel them back up if I want to. Obviously, there's some like overhang here that I would cover up with washi tape to make it pretty. Same thing on this side. This is just a cash-in printout. I have a rack list printout that I put here that I'm going to decorate the edges so you can't see. So if you have the option to add, you know, the extra pages for free, why not take it? Because you can always turn them into something else. And I will show an update like when I start to decorate. I'm waiting for a few things to come in the mail. I don't have very much washi tape, or like I literally only have like 5 good rolls. So so I'm kind of waiting just to build up some things before I start decorating it because I want it to be pretty. Okay, so with that being said, the other labels that we have printed off here are these. These are the time of day labels that I call them. I got something on my labels. Of course I did. Now, you can see, here's the first ones that I printed off. As you can see, they're much wider. The printout here is within this, and that's because the first one I didn't stay within the red box. Remember, I spoke about it earlier, because I thought I could go without the outside of the red box, but you cannot, and it willy-nilly to my whole sheet of, even this one I did the same thing. You see how I went outside the red box? However, it does not cut all the way over. The part that's outside of the red box does not cut. Look, I'll show you. See? So that's it. There's no cutting there. It has ended. However, I'm not going to waste them. I can just cut them up here by hand or with my trimmer, and they're still very usable. So, but these ones are the ones that I showed you how to make in the tutorial, and stay within the red box, because then they are
perfectly peelable. I'll do one on the edge so you can see. And they come right off. See? Easy peasy, no problem. And they will go, these will go right over your time of day. So, you know, like I said, some people don't like to organize morning, noon, and night. Well, I put mine on crooked, of course, but you will put yours on straight. And, you know, now you can, you can do them either in patterns to decorate the page, or you can do them in flat colors, and that way you can relabel them if you want to do, like, home, office, school, or, you know, however you organize your day is up to you. So, I'm going to peel this back off because it's crooked, and it'll drive me insane. So I think that's pretty much it for the tutorial. I will be showing you, oh, by the way, when you go to print and cut, or when you go to cut, you want to set your silhouette cameo, and I will put an annotation hopefully during the video. You want to set it to printable sticker paper, and that'll set your settings to, your blade will be a 2, and the speed will be 8, and the thickness, I believe, is 43. But if you just choose the printable sticker paper, it will set everything for you. Now, this doesn't cut all the way through to the back, obviously, because I want to leave them on the sheet. However, if you wanted to cut them completely out, I would maybe consider setting your blade to 4, which I think would probably cut through the back as well, if that's something you wanted to do. The labels that I personally purchased are from Staples, and they're Avery True Block, and they're 8.5 by 11. It says 1 label per sheet, so it's just one big sheet. You get 25 in this pack for, it says $15 on the website, but I'm almost sure I paid 11, but you know, let's say 15. So you get 25 sheets for $15. There was printable sticker paper available, but you got 15 sheets for $12. So, I mean, economically speaking, this was a much better deal because I got 25 for almost the same price. This does, according to the website, come in a pack of 100 for $38. So if printing out a lot of labels or stickers is something that you feel like you might do, then that's definitely the way to go. It's a much better deal. So of course there's all different kinds of, you know, labels and stuff, and you're free to choose whatever you find works best for you. Make sure you get, though, if you have a laser printer, make sure you get the kind that's for a laser printer, and if you have inkjet, make sure you get the kind for inkjet. That's important, because I almost made that mistake. So I think that's all. If I have left anything out or you have any questions, please feel free to ask away in the comment section below, and I will be glad to answer. Oh, just one quick thing. I wanted to show you what I did to cover up this area, this birthdays and anniversaries area up at the top here. All I did to cover that is the excess sticker paper. Where's my... I have so many labels printed out now. Okay, so, you know, it's kind of a bummer that all this area gets wasted when you can't go outside the red box in Silhouette. But this excess paper here is perfect to, I just measured the distance here. I believe it's 6.5 by, I don't know, I think it's a 1/4 inch. I don't know for sure, but I just measured it with my ruler, and I trimmed this down, the sticker paper, and I put it on top here and covered up the birthday anniversary area so that my lists are all pretty and neat, and you can't tell that it was ever intended for birthdays and anniversaries to begin with. And this page is a little messed up because, like I said, my labels came a little short. I may reprint the labels and put them over just to fix it because I don't know, it might drive me crazy. But, okay, now I'm pretty sure that's it. If I forgot anything, again, leave a comment and I will be sure to answer. I will do a separate video about stickers, my stickers that I made myself for my planner, like my pizza stickers and stuff. I would be lost without my little stickers because they just make the planner so much more fun. Clouds and tulips and shirts for laundry day, and here's a little Father's Day, and here's some sun, so when it's sunny I can put sunny, and pizzas for pizza day, and PA Day, etc., etc. So I will do a separate video for my stickers and how I made them in case anybody cares. And thanks everybody for watching. And like I said, if you have a question, feel free to ask away. Bye-bye, everyone.